Hello, everyone. You're listening to Future Chain, your source for thought leadership on machine learning and artificial intelligence in supply chain management. I'm your host, Greg Fawcett. I have worked with AI, ML, NLP, and predictive analytics applications in industries from advertising to automotive to telecom. We're going to talk about all these technologies and how they bring value to supply chain management. We're also going to talk about the overall evolution of supply chain management. Our guests today are Dr. Anura Rathnayake and Pascal Little. Dr. Anura Rathnayake is chairman and founder of Adetex.ID. Dr. Rathnayake is the inventor of the RFID Thread and brings vast expertise and know-how gained from working in advanced textiles engineering for global companies over 15 years, as well as 5 years of experience in a range of academic environments focused on smart textiles. His PhD research focused on the development of the core technology for the creation of electronically active smart yarns, which will be the building block of the next generation of wearable electronics. Welcome, Dr. Rathnayake. Terrific. Pascal Little has been working for 17 years as the head of product development, technology, sustainability, retail for Marks & Spencer UK, and over 10 years industrial experience at Texture Jersey UK. He is a member of the advisory board of Adetex.ID and working on RFID thread applications on textile supply chains, sustainability, and circular economy, commercial and functional feasibility. Welcome, Pascal.
Thank you, Greg. Good to meet you.
So great to have you both. Why don't we start with a hobby or a personal passion, maybe one that you've discovered in the midst of the pandemic. Dr. Rathnayake, why don't you start us out?
Everyone. Thank you, Greg. Thanks for having us. We are so excited to discuss in this pandemic situation. So actually last year everything whole industry slowed down last year. So now actually everybody excited and picking these new technologies. So now we are really excited to discuss our great new technology because this is the right time to discuss. So we can go through all the details in a few minutes.
Excellent. Pascal, any personal detail that you can share with our listeners?
Well, after 17 years, as you said, Greg, in a company like Marks & Spencer, I decided to leave a year and a half ago in order to sort of leave the corporate world and try some new things in life, get involved with some new forward-looking, ideas, which is how I met Anu. And of course, I'm not surprised his hobby is RFID Thread because he thinks of nothing else. He's very passionate about it. On a very sort of left field note, I sort of had a bit of time hadn't planned a global lockdown when I left Marks & Spencer, so I had a little bit of time, like everybody at home. And I've since illustrated 2 children's books. So there you go.
Wow.
But terrific. That's what this is about.
Well, you'll have to share links for Amazon or elsewhere where our listeners could take a look and maybe order, and I'll include those in the show notes.
Okay, look to do that. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, Dr. Rathnayake, why don't you start us out by giving us an overview of RFID threads? It's a fascinating concept.
Thank you. Great overview to begin with. So then, but we can discuss further detail when we go through this presentation. RFID Thread is a new disruptive technology that allows RFID chip to invisibly integrated into a garment for entire life cycle. So RFID Thread actually opens up new business opportunities for entire supply chains, like clothing manufacturers, retailers, brand owners, consumers, recyclers, entire life supply chain. RFID Thread is a major breakthrough to change the recycling of garment to empower the global fashion circular economy. RFID Thread unlock potential through whole garment life data, capture pre and post sales, providing future business opportunities. So in detail, we can discuss, few seconds. So I can invite to my colleague Pascal to go through the next slide.
Just to begin with, to build on what Anu's just said, RFID, radio frequency identification, is already established in retail, for example, but through tags. RFID Thread is obviously a patented technology that embeds RFID into a thread, which can then be embedded in a garment for its entire life cycle. So it provides, in essence, a digital passport for a garment throughout its life, fully washable, and that's where we come on to how it can help with things like the circular economy. But I think in terms of just beginning with some of the challenges for retail, of which I'm sure many people watching this and you, Greg, will be familiar with. I mean, COVID-19 has accelerated a lot of things which were kind of happening anyway in the industry. So one of those being the acceleration into online clothing, the other things that go with the importance of stock accuracy and the management and facilitation of a higher volume of returns which retailers get. Obviously, there are issues relating to bricks and mortar retailer, which remains, not least the costs and shrinkage, but also the opportunity to be able to improve customer experience in store in order to be able to compete with inline. We all need a reason to go back into towns, don't we, and to shop in stores. So this also is a facilitator to help with that, which we shall see. And then finally, obviously, sustainability, the circular economy is becoming an increasingly important topic. As we emerge from the COVID crisis, businesses will have to reinvent. I think people would expect that. Textiles and fashion is the second largest polluter in the world, and this is an opportunity for us to be able to build second life into garments and start to address this problem.
Pascal, why don't you quickly give a high-level description of the circular economy?
Well, I mean, in simple terms, so much natural resource and human resource goes into the creation of a garment, whether it's a cheap t-shirt or an expensive suit. And yet so many of those garments at the end of their life, of which we're increasingly buying more and more of, go into landfill. So what the circular economy is essentially about is providing a second life to that garment. So that's either being able to facilitate the disassembling of a garment into its component parts so that those component parts can be reused, or the resale of the garment itself and providing it a second use, or neither of those are possible, the sort of biodegradability of the garment itself and perhaps even compostability. So it's just providing that circular life for the garment so that we, impact on the amount of garments going into landfill.
Excellent, very clear, thank you.
I mean, some of these statistics in the presentation speak for themselves. I mean, one garbage truck of textiles wasted every second, 2 million tons of landfill waste per annum. It's interesting that particular moment, given what I've just said about the circular economy, only 15% clothing is recycled or donated, with the rest going to landfill or incineration. 60% of the clothing we buy is thrown out within a year of being manufactured. It's an increasingly important theme. And I think one of the things that's been considered in some of the international conventions, that are happening this year is the potential for governments to start to tax textile pollution in order to accelerate some of this innovation and activity. And obviously, with regards to RFID Thread, one of the keys to recycling efficiently is the automated sorting of technology that can facilitate that.
Just massive waste. It's astounding.
It really sets a scene, doesn't it, for the need to do this, It's incredible. So I think in terms of how RFID Thread can help with the retail challenges, I mean, existing technology, barcodes are slow to process, can lead to poor stock control and till speed. I think we've all been in stores and experienced that. Hard tags are slow down the retail process. They can be removed, so the customer can't be used for returns or recycling purposes. It can also facilitate theft through removing the identity of the garment in the store or in a warehouse. Again, from a pollution point of view, 12.5 billion RFID tags so far, and that they're increasing in use, go to landfill every year immediately post-sale. And of course, they're not washable, so they can't stay with the garment even if they're fully attached.
Thank you, Pascal.
So, are you going to pick this up, Anu?
Yes. So this is this is about RFID thread. So actually, you already mentioned little information about RFID thread, but normally a lot of people familiar with barcode. So when you go to any supermarket, you will see a barcode top. So those actually started 1951. RFID thread, started like 1983. So traditional RFID thread, RFID tags is like something sticker, or maybe like this is like a sticker, but there are some card format or can be like a label format. So those are integrated into a garment. Like Pascal said, 12.5 billion tags we use annually only for garment industry. So, but replacing this kind of, like a paper tag or stickers or like labels, we want to replace this kind of very flexible, washable, very strong RFID thread, which will integrate inside the garment somewhere, maybe like a collar or side seam or hem somewhere. You don't notice where it is. So the technology is already patented and under PTC application, and we globally protected. Some of countries we already granted the patent. Example: UK, USA, Sri Lanka, Europe. So this is like normal RFID thread is you remove after sale, but this thread is remaining because it's washable and entire life cycle.
So Dr. Rathnayake, let me ask you a question about RFID. Is it tags or threads? 12.5 billion of them in landfills. Is that right? They're still winding up in landfill?
Yeah, like this kind of like a hanging tag, like a price tag. This kind of sticker or like a price tag or like a label tag. Just use to 12.5 billion annually only for garment industry. So then after sale, consumer just cut it off and it's straight to go to the bin. So and a lot, this a lot of metal in these tags. But compared to those tags, we use only 1% conductive yarn to produce this hybrid yarn. And this is not going to landfill. This is stay in the garment through the entire life cycle.
Excellent. So the thread solves the landfill issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
So then this RFID thread, like normal tag, mainly used for inventory management at the moment in the industry. But RFID thread actually we integrate into the garment when you manufacturing. So therefore, this thread you can use to monitor entire manufacturing process in the garment industry. So actually we have partner for hardware, software, complete solution for monitoring garment manufacturing process. So also, on real time you can monitor what is exactly happening in the production flow, operator wise or production wise on real time from your mobile or from your laptop, you can monitor all the process. And
so you have a comprehensive view of the supply chain through the RFID thread.
Yeah, so which is really good because now people have different to monitor production. So they do normally manual way. So every hour they count how many garments they produce every hour. But this RFID is automatic. You don't have to count, by yourself, operators. So it just operators working like normal way. Automatically, it just when all the scanners. All the garments passing through scanners, automatically everything count and link with the system. So errors you can minimize, human errors.
Excellent.
Yeah, over to you, Pascal.
Okay, so we talked earlier about customer experience in store, and the thread itself can also play a big part in that. I mean, with regards to retailers, obviously real-time data on sales and stock make better buying and logistical decisions. So in terms of stockroom replenishment, inventory management, etc., which actually existing RFID does. The fact that there is less, that this can't be removed from the garment is more of a guarantee of that. The scanning of returns and the speed of the stock write-offs, astonishing, for retailers the issue moving more and more to online retail involves a lot more returns, and the efficient processing of the returns to get them back on sale is a huge efficiency benefit for retailers, and also ensuring the accuracy of refunds as stock is brought back or refunded to customers. The issue of counterfeiting, obviously, for brands and particularly for luxury brands, is one that's there, and having a lifetime passport ID with a garment throughout its whole life cycle helps to remove that problem. The product can be validated effectively. Opportunities to integrate the product into in-store experience. You see the image just on the right of the slide is actually from Burberry store in London. It's a smart mirror. The RFID tag can carry the information to interact with the mirror, so you can see the garment. You can get information about the garment, its transparency of its life cycle, etc. So it can provide more customer interface in store. I've said already about the efficiency of inline sales and volume returns management.
Well, Dr. Rathnayake, we interviewed Nidhi Puri of PVH on technical design. RFID threads integrated into that technical design process?
Yes, we have done a very successful pilot with them, starting from, because they wanted to select a really worst scenario, the denim process, because the denim process, we apply very aggressive industrial washing process. So they selected actually that. So we integrated 5,000 thread to the denims where they manufacture in India. So then our team and my team came to India and we created RFID threads. Then when normal process, they wanted to check, and we went to North Carolina, where they have disease centers, they want to check. So then went New York, normal retailer shop. So each and every point, this thread through without any modification, this thread is you work with the normal existing hardware software solution. And also they wanted to check self-checkout. So, everything worked very well. They were really happy.
Thank you.
I think Annie picked up on some of the points on this slide. I mean, obviously, instead of individual items being scanned, the technology facilitates bulk scanning for stock accuracy and without minimum intervention. So again, efficiency gains. No tag removal at till. Anu has just mentioned that trials have been carried out for self-checkout. I mean, the examples I've seen, the garments are in a bag and you take the bag to the scanner and the bag reads all the items that are in, or the scanner reads all the items that are in the bag without having to take them out and pass them through individually. So, it just facilitates a speedy checkout and just a better in-store experience all around. Can't be removed by thieves, which we've mentioned already. And the fact that it can be used as part of the circular economy really means that it could limit any potential future carbon offset taxes that might be coming down the line for retailers. Same for brands. We've mentioned already about counterfeiting and the fact that this ID can help prevent that post-sale. It can be used to increase customer brand loyalty through, potential after-sale interaction with customers. Supports the environmental credentials of the brand through the circular economy, and can also, again, potentially limit carbon offset taxes in the future.
So this is, I think, we got only few minutes left for this session. This, we have another 5-6 minutes. If this run out, I will set up again very quickly and email you to both to rejoin again.
Yeah, let's definitely do that.
Okay.
Okay,
I mean, again, some of this is repeating what we've said, but better in-store experience for customers in store, better returns experience in terms of when you bring a garment back or send a garment back to a retailer or a brand. It can help you with transparency of the life cycle or the supply chain of a garment, which will help with the credentials and the provenance of the garment in a customer's eyes. Post-sale future-proofing. There's the development of smart washing machines, which want to be able to read the data of a garment. When you're putting it into a washing machine, you will have within this data the fiber content and any other information a washing machine needs to see to be able to wash the garment well and successfully. And of course, we've said already about the positive customers feeling like they're positively supporting a circular economy.
We're really looking at an autonomous system, aren't we, gentlemen?
Yeah, Anu, do you want to reply to that?
Yeah, definitely. Sorry.
I think the fact that it's in place for the life cycle of the garment allows everybody to play a role. So, you know, it goes right through the manufacturing process, through the retailer, consumer or customer, and then after that into any sorting areas or second-hand retailers. The data is there throughout its life cycle, which does give it that autonomy that you've mentioned, Greg.
Thank you.
Yeah. So basically, Greg, the pattern is the second largest pollution in the world because we produce 150 articles of textile each year, and 85% end up in landfill. So that's why it become like a second largest pollution in the world. We found one of bigger problem was sorting. So when the tons of textile are going to recycling plant, we saw manual people sort them out. This look like cotton, this look like wool. So they are not 100% accurate and efficient and very expensive process. So therefore, it is always better to use virgin like normal raw materials rather than recycling raw materials. So that's why this technology actually, as I told you, will empower the global pattern circular economy because we have like digital world and we have physical world. To bridge these two worlds, we have to use a technology which is RFID. So you take physical world information to digital world easily, automatically. So the barrier was current RFID tags are not washable and not remaining in the garment as a passport. So that is the gap we are actually covering from the thread. So for this particular reason, we won Global Change Award from H&M Foundation. Select the best 5 innovation from world. When we apply, we were one of the best 5 from 130 countries, around 3,000 applications. So, and also we got few other, we were lucky to be like few other winners like Soft Top Launch, Circular Innovator, Plug and Play, for Passion for Good, So thanks to Global Change Award, we got a lot of...
Congratulations, those are a series of honors.
Yeah, thank you. So thanks to actually mainly Global Change Award, global major players like, starting from 1 to 5, all the major players approach us. We didn't have to approach them, they approach us already, and we prove our technologies really, working well. So what we can offer as a company, so we can offer, encoding some facilities. We have a technical team to support the supply chain, and also, solution for self-checkout and return management, hardware, software solution, and RFID Thread as a complete package to the garment manufacturing industry. So currently we have, manufacturing facilities in Sri Lanka. So right now we only can do like 300,000 per year, but we are looking forward to increase our capacity into, like 3 billion in next 4 years. So that is the current situation. And also, we got a really great positive. Actually, we approach us 2 major RFID manufacturers from the world. We are having a discussion, very successful discussion, to be partner with us to accelerate this into mass production. So as I told you, this is patented, award-winning disruptive technology. We provide a lot of business opportunities for entire supply chain, success user trials with a major brand globally. We have manufacturing facilities and skilled manufacturing and technical team. And also we can provide competitive price to the existing like normal RFID thread. We can meet existing market price when we scale up. Thank you so much. Anything, Pascal, you want to add?
Just to say, look, I got involved with Anu because, with the experience I have in manufacturing and in retail, I can see this is a game changer. We've tried to provide some examples of just how this can be used successfully by brands and retailers and the supply chain, the fashion supply chain. But there'll be other applications we haven't thought of. You know, there's going to be problems out there for brands and retailers that they want to solve, and this may well provide the answer to that. So with investment in place and scale up that Anu's talked about, we really feel confident this is going to be an important player in the years to come.
Excellent. Dr. Rathnayake, you may want to break here because I see a less than. Thank you so much, Dr. Rathnayake. Pascal, why don't you walk us through the textile supply chain in the fashion industry?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it starts at the very beginning with the raw fiber, whether that's a natural fiber or a synthetic, you know, cotton, nylon, or a man-made fiber such as viscose, modal, or tensile, working its way through to yarn processing, the dyes and chemicals industry as you then get into textile production, whether that's knitting or weaving or fantastic embroideries or laces, all of which then have to be dyed, finished, or printed, make their way to the garment industry, which also uses, you know, a lot of ancillary products, whether it's elastics, threads, different bindings, different fusings, and whatever is used to bring that garment together, all the way through the logistics process to retail, in-store, online, through warehousing and storage, and then through to the consumer, and then hopefully, increasingly, into its post-life world. So its second life, which we've talked about already in terms of the circular economy, you know, either reuse, disassembly, or, you know, compostability and biodegradability. So you can see there's a lot goes into a garment, however simple, and a lot of transportation because of the way the global fashion industry operates. So all the more important that we adopt, you know, we embrace new technology like RFID Thread to try and bring that into a more efficient world and a more circular one.
So your supply chain is actually circular. There's not a beginning and end point. It just regenerates.
It could regenerate. It doesn't currently enough because the resources that are used to create, whether it's the fiber or the water that's used in the dyeing and finishing, or the sort of basically everything that goes into the garment can end up in landfill. I think increasingly over the years, and certainly I've seen in my career, more circularity has happened within different segments of the supply chain. So, you know, fiber producers using, you know, sustainable raw materials, dyes and finishes, recycling water, you know, reusing waste where we can, you know, so it's happening within segments of the supply chain. I think what we're talking about with regards to this technology is the complete supply chain and sustainability within that.
Excellent. Dr. Rathnayake, what makes your technology smart?
Basically, like normal textile, what we are wearing are passive. So when we integrate any microelectronics like sensors into garment, then that, you know, textile make it smart. So then, you know, like normal smart garment, or we can use this smart thread to make the garment smart.
What are wearables? We hear the term wearables used in terms of smart garments, but detail for us what the term actually means.
Yeah, so when you use a smart thread or smart fabric, then you can make smart clothing. So we are talking about in garment, smart garment, and wearables. This is same thing we are talking about. So anything, you know, smart, do something like a smart garment. It is change the properties according to environmental changes. So they can adapt. So they can, you know, give the signal in and out. So then you are talking about similar thing like wearables, smart textiles, intelligent textile, all are same.
So the garment can interact with external technology, whether that's through the RFID thread, and it gives the garment the ability to be able to interact with scanning technology, which provide you with the information you need to facilitate all the things we've talked about, or other smart garments can interact, you know, biologically or however it happens to work. But it's providing that garment with the ability to interact.
Yeah,
Now,
definitely.
Pascal, is that why Adtech's RFID technology is important to the textiles industry, or are there other contributing factors?
I think that's why it's important. I mean, the key here in terms of its importance to the supply chain is the fact that it lasts for the life cycle of the garment. It's hidden within the garment, so the consumer doesn't know it's there. You don't know it, it's invisible. It contains all the data that you need in order to be able to facilitate post-life, supply chain visibility, more efficient processing through the different parts of the supply chain, including, inventory management and returns management, etc. And it's washable, and it just stays with the garment. So, this is why I said earlier it's a game changer, because, RFID technology exists, but not in this way. This is new, and this is what makes it different.
Now, Dr. Rathnayake, you've talked about how RFID technology makes the digitization of supply chain possible. And obviously, that's been a critical development for the industry. Tell us more details about that process of transforming the brick and mortar world to the digital world.
Yeah. So basically, entire supply chain, when we talk about, it started from raw material suppliers, manufacturers, as well as garment manufacturers, warehouse, retailers, recyclers, they all have their own management system internally, independently. So, maybe they use SAP or any other cloud system to digitally connect entire supply chain. So to do that, especially currently RFID can only do certain point, but truly to empower this circular economy, this thread RFID should be remaining in the garment. So you insert RFID thread into when you're manufacturing. So each and every point we want to implement through the cloud-based software digital solution to link with entire supply chain, and with this digital passport. So all the data that belongs to garment only. So basically, some people talk about privacy. Actually, we are not any personal information. This is all about garment information, like cotton, wool, polyester, fabric type, or where the manufacturer. So it belongs to garment history information. So then, actually, those information remaining in the cloud system when they are going to recycling plant. Now, after sale, that RFID or barcode, it just throw it away. So there's no any further trace back. So in this case, it is remaining in the garment. So then when the garment are going to recycling centers, they can access to our database to get all the information, and they can implement garment type, fabric type, fiber, all the information where they made from, all the information from our system. So then truly your entire supply chain, you can digitally connect it.
So I imagine there's a great deal of systems integration that has to happen to fully leverage the technology.
Definitely. So that is also, we are working on that project also, actually, parallel to this.
Excellent. Now, Pascal, you've talked about how the technology fosters sustainability, but you've also talked about the fact that we do not yet have a complete circular economy. How will the technology help us achieve that goal?
Well, I think part of achieving a circular economy within the fashion industry is to facilitate the reuse of the garment at the end of its life cycle. So, the information that's embedded within RFID technology in the garment, which stays with it for its life, is able to be used by assortment centers to quickly be able to identify what's in the garment so that it can be efficiently sorted, disassembled, and reused. Or it can be used in secondhand retail to be able to identify the provenance of the garment, where it comes from, what it's made of, which helps the sale and also prevents counterfeiting. And, basically that information within it, which can allow the garment to be reused. I think also potentially further down the line, it can provide a digital record of the life of the garment. So if you buy it as a consumer, you'll be able to see where it comes from, where it went through, what it's done in its life story, essentially. And I think that's what's so exciting about this, that it actually provides that lifetime passport, which allows and facilitates a circular economy in that respect.
So consumers can literally audit the performance of their favorite brands.
Potentially.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Rothniyaki, tell us about your work with Tommy Hilfiger.
So actually, Tommy is a part of PVH. So thanks to,
Yes.
again, Global Change Award, H&M Foundation. So major players like PVH, Inditex Group, H&M, M&S, Decathlon, major players globally approach us because they are really excited about our technology. So the problem at the moment, they want millions and billions, So that is actually, we are going to scale up to meet their volume requirement as well as price requirement. So going back to your question about the experience with the Tommy Hilfiger, so we have actually done few pilot trials. So we have integrated RFID Thread into Tommy Hilfiger T-shirt 5000 as well as denims 5000 in a different, like 2 different projects. So the both went really successful. So we started from certain point. They selected Indian factory. So our team and my team came to India and we insert RFID Thread garments. So then went to normal process until New York retailer. So they were really, really happy with the technology and we got really good feedback.
Congratulations. Any other case studies that you'd like to mention?
Actually, we started, some major players similar, as I told you, like, Decathlon, Ansel, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to tell you in detail at the moment because of NDA we signed with them. We are continuing with them, a very successful pilot.
Terrific. Well, when you're able to give us more details, by all means, share. Do either of you have any closing words?
Just would say, again, I think we've covered all the reasons why I think this is a real game-changing technology for the fashion supply chain. So if anybody wants any more information, having seen this, you'll be able to find Anu or myself on LinkedIn or some of the other platforms, and you'll then be able to sort of ask any other questions that you have.
We'll include links to both of your profiles in the show notes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rothniyaki, and thank you, Pascal.
Thanks, Greg. Nice to meet you.
Same.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, viewers. Please visit your favorite podcast platform and give us a review and subscribe. We're building a resource for you. Email us at info@futurechain.org with your feedback, suggestions on guests, and questions. Until next time, thank you.